Welcome to a special journey. Please grab your coffee or tea, get comfy, maybe pull up a blanket if it's raining outside. No rush today. Just breathe in and out, nice and slow. Today, we are going to talk about history of umbrella. Are you ready? Rain just keeps falling. Cold drops hitting your face, running down your neck, soaking your shirt in seconds. You feel that shiver, that why-me moment when your shoes squish with every step. And on hot days, the sun is brutal, burning your skin, making you squint, no escape, no little patch of cool shade. Just you against the weather, and the weather always wins. But then, imagine this little thing in your hand. Just a stick and some fabric. You press a button, click, and suddenly there's this dome above you. Rain taps on it like it's knocking politely instead of attacking. Wind tries to flip it inside out. You just smile, give it a little twist, and keep strolling. Everything feels quieter, safer, almost cozy. That tiny shield changes the whole mood. For thousands of years, this simple thing has been there for us. Way back, it wasn't even about rain. It was about the sun, a big, fancy shade for kings and queens, a sign that said I'm important. Over time, it became something for all of us, your everyday buddy when the sky decides to be moody. It's more than just protection. It's a quiet promise, hey, whatever the sky throws at you, I've got you. From golden canopies in ancient deserts to tiny foldable ones in your bag, the umbrella has quite a story. And guess what? It didn't start with rain. It started with the sun. Let's unfold it together, nice and slow. Okay, let's go way back, thousands of years ago, when the umbrella wasn't even called an umbrella yet. It was a parasol. The word comes from Latin umbra, meaning shade. Back then, it wasn't about keeping dry from rain. It was all about blocking that harsh, burning sun. In hot, dry places like ancient Mesopotamia and Egypt, around 3500 to 2400 BCE, the first ones appeared. Picture this, a pharaoh in Egypt, walking slowly in a grand procession. The sun is blazing down, no mercy. But above his head, servants hold a huge canopy, maybe made of feathers, palm leaves, or woven fabric on a long pole. It's not just shade, it's a symbol. Only kings, queens, gods, or high priests got that protection. It said, this person is important. The sun itself bows to them. In Assyria and Sumeria, carvings show the same thing. Elaborate parasols held high over rulers during ceremonies. The bigger and fancier, the more power it represented. Meanwhile, far to the east in ancient China, around the 11th century BCE, maybe even earlier, people were getting clever. They made parasols from bamboo frames, covered with silk or thin paper. To make them truly useful, they coated the paper with wax or lacquer, tung oil, actually, so it became waterproof. Now it shielded nobility from both the scorching sun and sudden storms. These weren't just for show. They were practical, elegant, and often beautifully painted or decorated for festivals and daily life. So long before anyone thought of rain gear, the umbrella, or parasol, was a status symbol. It protected the powerful from the elements while reminding everyone who was in charge. But ideas spread along trade routes, and soon, this simple shade would evolve into something for everyday people. From royal canopies in the desert heat to oiled paper in misty Chinese valleys, the story was just beginning. All right, let's keep traveling through time. The idea of the parasol spread westward, to ancient Greece and Rome, roughly from the 4th century BCE to the 1st century AD. Here, it wasn't just for kings anymore. It became a fashionable accessory, especially for women of high society. Imagine a sunny afternoon in Athens or Rome. A wealthy lady is heading to the theater or a chariot race. She doesn't want the sun to ruin her perfect skin or her elaborate hairstyle. So, a servant, sometimes a slave, holds a delicate parasol above her head. It It might be made of silk, linen, or even feathers, with ivory or gold handles. The parasol was small, elegant, and very visible, a quiet way to say, "I'm someone special." Men rarely carried them. It was seen as too feminine. But for elite women, it was both protection and a status symbol. In Rome especially, during big public games or chariot races, you'd see rows of these parasols in the stands. They fluttered like little flags of privilege. Luxury items, only the rich could afford them, and only slaves or attendants held them high so the lady stayed shaded and comfortable. The umbrella still marked who held power, who could afford not to sweat under the sun. Over in Persia and ancient India, the parasol grew even grander. Kings and emperors sat under massive canopies, sometimes carried by several servants. These were huge, ornate, decorated with jewels or embroidery. Again, it wasn't about rain, it was pure symbol. The ruler so important that even the sun had to make way. The bigger the shade, the bigger the power. So in these ancient worlds, the umbrella, or parasol, remained a luxury. It sheltered the elite from the sun, but more importantly, it showed everyone who was above the rest. It wasn't for ordinary people yet, but the seeds were planted. Soon, this symbol of power would start to change, and become something much more everyday. Alright, now let's step into Europe during the Middle Ages and Renaissance. For a long time, the umbrella, still mostly a parasol, stayed a luxury thing. But around the 16th century, things started to shift a little. In 1533, Catherine de' Medici, the Italian queen who married into the French royal family, brought fancy parasols from Italy to the French court. Suddenly, it became high fashion. Court ladies carried delicate, embroidered sunshades to protect their pale skin and look elegant. It was less about power now, more about beauty and style. Picture Catherine strolling through the gardens of Fontainebleau or Paris. Her parasol is beautiful, silk, lace, maybe even feathers, held high by an attendant. The sun is bright, but she stays cool and graceful. Other noblewomen copied her quickly. Parasols became a must-have accessory for ladies of the court, a sign of refinement, not just protection. Men still thought it was too feminine to carry one, but the idea was spreading. Fast forward to 1710 in Paris. A man named Jean Marius invented the first truly lightweight, folding umbrella. It had a clever mechanism, ribs that collapsed neatly, so you could tuck it under your arm or in a carriage. No more huge, heavy canopies. This made it practical for everyday use, though at first, mostly women still carried them. Then came 1750 in London, and a bold guy named Jonas Hanway. He was the first man in England to openly carry an umbrella in public on rainy days. People stared. Some even laughed or threw things at him. They thought it was unmanly, or lazy, why not just hire a carriage? But Hanway kept using it. He proved it was practical, and slowly, other men started doing the same. The umbrella was no longer just for fancy ladies or royalty. It was becoming an everyday tool for anyone who didn't want to get wet. In Renaissance Europe, umbrellas became fashion for women. Then, in 1750, a brave Englishman Jonas Hanway dared to carry one in public, for men. Slowly, it shifted from luxury to everyday tool. The change was happening, one rainy day at a time. By the mid-19th century, umbrellas were getting more popular, but they still had problems. Wooden or whalebone ribs broke easily in wind, and they were heavy. Then, in 1852, a clever Englishman named Samuel Fox changed everything. Samuel Fox was a wire maker from Sheffield. He worked with steel every day. He noticed that women's corset stays, those thin steel wires, were strong and light. So he took that idea and created the first steel-ribbed umbrella frame. He called it the Paragon, with U-shaped steel ribs that were much lighter than wood or whalebone. They were tougher too, no more snapping in a gust of wind. The umbrella became unbreakable, easier to carry, and cheaper to make. Suddenly, more people could afford a reliable one. Fox's design spread fast, his company sold millions, and it became the standard for modern umbrellas. Around the same time, late 19th century, waterproofing got a big upgrade. Early umbrellas used waxed paper or oiled silk, but those wore out quick. Now, mass production brought better fabrics. Cotton treated with rubber, like Charles Mackintosh's invention from earlier, making it truly waterproof. Later, materials evolved to nylon, Gore-Tex-like coatings, breathable yet completely rainproof. No more leaks or soggy handles. The umbrella wasn't just surviving rain anymore, it was conquering it. In 1852, steel ribs made umbrellas lighter and unbreakable. No more broken spokes in wind. Waterproofing advanced, from waxed paper to modern nylon. What started as heavy royal shades had become something practical, tough, and ready for daily life. The umbrella was now truly for everyone, a quiet hero against the weather. By the early 20th century, umbrellas were getting smaller and smarter. In 1928, a German inventor named Hans Haupt created something game-changing, the telescopic pocket umbrella. He called it the Nerps, which means little guy in German. Hans had been injured in the war and found it hard to carry a walking stick and a full-size umbrella at the same time. So he designed one that telescopes. The shaft collapses down, ribs fold neatly, and the whole thing fits in a pocket or bag. It was compact, lightweight, and revolutionary. Suddenly, you could carry protection everywhere without it being a hassle. Picture this: a busy street in Berlin or Vienna. A woman pulls out this tiny thing from her purse. Click, extend, open, and boom, instant shelter. No more lugging around big heavy canopies. The Nerps became a bestseller. Even celebrities and royalty loved it. It made umbrellas truly portable for the first time. Then, in 1969, an American named Bradford E. Phillips refined the folding mechanism even more. His working foldable umbrella patent, from Totes Company, made opening and closing smoother, with better locks and springs. This is basically the folding design we still use today: reliable, quick, and user-friendly. Fast forward to today, the 21st century, and umbrellas are getting really clever. Many now have automatic open-close with just a button push, no struggling in the rain. Wind-resistant models use double canopies. An inner layer vents wind through, so it doesn't flip inside out. Some are tested to withstand gusts over 100 kilometers per hour. Like in wind tunnels, they stay strong where others would break. There are even ones with LED lights built into the ribs. Glow softly in the dark for safety at night. And the smartest? App-connected umbrellas that notify your phone if you leave it behind, or track weather to remind you to bring it. Imagine walking home late at night. Your umbrella lights up the path like a lantern. Or in a storm, it auto-adjusts or resists flipping. From heavy royal canopies in ancient times to these tiny pocket shields that fit in your bag, the evolution is amazing. What started as a status symbol for the elite is now a smart, tough companion for anyone facing rain, wind, or darkness. In 1928, the pocket umbrella fit in a bag. Today, umbrellas resist 100 kilometers per hour winds, open with a button, even glow in the dark. From heavy royal canopies to tiny pocket shields, the umbrella keeps adapting, protecting us in new ways. It's no longer just about shade or rain. It's about convenience, safety, and a little bit of fun in everyday life. Now, let's look ahead. Let's imagine what the umbrella might become in the future. Technology is moving so fast, and designers around the world are already creating very exciting new ideas. What if umbrellas no longer needed fabric at all? Imagine airless umbrellas, made from smart, flexible materials that can change shape depending on the weather. Or inflatable umbrellas that start as a small pod in your pocket. With one touch, they inflate in seconds, creating a perfect dome above you, then deflate completely flat again when you're done. No more broken ribs, no more heavy frames, just light, smart protection that appears when you need it. Even more interesting ideas are coming. Picture an umbrella with tiny solar panels woven directly into the canopy. You use it all day in the rain, then simply leave it open near a window or outside. The solar cells quietly collect energy from the sun and gently warm the fabric, drying it completely by itself. No towel, no waiting. There are also concepts for eco-friendly umbrellas made from biodegradable materials, plant fibers, recycled plastics that break down naturally, or even mushroom-based fabrics. If you ever lose one or it gets too old, it won't stay in the landfill for hundreds of years. It simply returns to the earth. These new umbrellas aren't just protecting us from rain, they're also protecting our planet. Some designers are thinking even bigger. What about umbrellas that don't need to be held? Flying umbrellas, small personal drones that hover above you, always adjusting their position to keep you perfectly dry, no matter which way you walk. On Mars, future explorers might use large umbrella-like shields to protect their equipment from powerful dust storms and harsh radiation. In our cities, with more extreme weather, stronger rains, acid rain, or intense UV, umbrellas could become intelligent shields. They might have built-in air filters, UV protection, or even sensors that warn you when the rain is too dangerous to go outside. From a simple bamboo stick in ancient China to these high-tech companions of the future, the core purpose remains the same, something small and clever that stands between us and the sky. The umbrella teaches us something very beautiful and important. Simple ideas can protect us from the sky. It began thousands of years ago as a sunshade for kings and queens in the burning desert. It slowly became a fashion item for elegant ladies in Europe. Then it turned into a practical tool that brave men like Jonas Hanway dared to carry in the rain. Today, it fits in our bags, opens with one button, resists strong winds, and even lights up the night. And tomorrow, it will continue to evolve, becoming smarter, lighter, greener, and more personal. From a symbol of power for the few, to a quiet companion for everyone. It keeps unfolding, just like human ingenuity. No matter how advanced our world becomes, the umbrella reminds us that sometimes the best inventions are the ones that quietly make our daily lives better, drier, safer, and a little more comfortable. As one old proverb says, a good umbrella covers the family. Today, we can say it covers our future too. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for spending this time with me, walking through the long and beautiful history of the umbrella. I really hope this story made you smile, made you think, and perhaps made you look at your own umbrella a little differently next time it rains. Now I want to hear from you. What everyday object should we explore next? A pair of shoes? A cup of coffee? A door? Or something completely different? Please write your ideas in the comments below. I read every single one. Until next time, stay dry, stay curious, and keep unfolding your own beautiful story. See you in the next video.